What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio for Friday, June 5th, 2015, delivering some major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio or its apps. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. In the 24 hours since E! debuted the first teaser clip online for their upcoming Caitlyn Jenner doc-series, I Am Cait, the video received more than 4.5 million views across digital and social platforms. The clip, combined with the news of Keeping Up with the Kardashian star Kim Kardashian's second pregnancy, gave E! Online its biggest non-awards day with 5.2 million uniques. The teaser for the series gives viewers their first glimpse at Jenner's post-transition life after her debut on the cover of Vanity Fair earlier this week. Jenner said in the promo, "So many people go through life and they never deal with their own issues, no matter what the issues are." He also added, ours happens to be gender identity, but how many people go through life and just waste an entire life because they never dealt with themselves to be who they are. I Am Cait premieres July 26 on E! In the wake of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's explosive interview with Fox News' Megyn Kelly Wednesday, experts in the child abuse and the law have voiced their concern about how the TLC reality stars handled their son Josh's admission of molesting 5 girls, including 4 of his sisters. Steve Meister, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor, told the Wrap, parents have a legal duty to ensure the safety of their children. These parents protect their son at the expense of their daughters. The Duggar parents, stars of the TLC's now suspended series 19 Kids and Counting, told Kelly that they put safeguards in place after Josh, as a young teenager, confessed that he had inappropriately touched 2 of his sisters while they were sleeping. But Josh has at least 2 more incidents involving another 2 sisters and a babysitter before they removed him from the home. That tagline is one reason why the Duggars case has horrified child safety advocates, many of whom have expressed outrage at the response of both the parents and authorities in Tonatown, Arkansas. But child abuse experts say such intra-family molestation cases are not as uncommon as people might think. Daphne Young of Child Help, the largest national nonprofit dedication to the treatment and prevention of child abuse, said, "Children are curious when they're developing. We're just not comfortable talking about it." Young said it's understandable that parents who want to protect the offending child. She said, "When people are faced with sexual abuse within the family, they tend to deal with it privately and minimize the offense." Indeed, the Duggars seemed to downplay the severity of Josh's actions in their conversation with Kelly. "This was not rape or anything like that," the family patriarch said. "There were a couple of instances where he touched them under their clothes, but it was like a few seconds, and then he came to us and was crying and told us what happened." Experts say that the parents seem to be in denial about their son's behavior, an understandable response that had real consequences. Meister said all they did was ignore the possibilities that it might reoccur. More troubling to the experts, though, was just how long the parents waited to seek outside help for Josh and for the girls involved. The Duggars admitted that 16 months elapsed between Josh's first confession and the time they contacted authorities about the abuse. Young says that families like the Duggars should not try and deal with the situation themselves, but turn to professional help at the first hint of misconduct. Young says only they can access what's really going on in the house. The quickest way to heal is to reveal what happened. The legal consequences of Josh's actions are a little more straightforward. Though Josh has admitted to the molestation and apologized for it, he won't be held accountable for the crime, at least not in a court of law, or neither would his parents. Under Arkansas Law 527-221, a person commits the offense of permitting abuse of a minor if, being a parent, guardian, or person legally charged with the care or custody of a minor, he or she recklessly fails to take action to prevent the abuse of a minor. But experts say those cases are hard to prosecute. Dr. David Finkelhor, the director of Crimes Against Children Research Center, told the Wrap, "While there is the potential that a law was broken here, you very rarely see prosecutions in intra-family cases. The question is moot since so much time has expired since the molestation incidents." Meister says if the statute of limitation for child negligence has expired, which it did, nothing can be done. On the other side of the spectrum, Megyn Kelly scored her ratings high when she interviewed and battled 19 kids and counting parents Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, but media experts say the Fox News channel anchor struck out when it comes to journalistic standards. NPR TV critic Eric Degens told the Wrap it seems to be pretty much about helping the Duggars salvage their brand rather than getting to the bottom of what happened in this family. She wasn't particularly insensitive, and she didn't push the Duggars on issues that I think are the heart of this. Why they waited so long to go to law enforcement, why they took all these unofficial avenues to get their children help. A total of 3.1 million viewers tuned in on Wednesday night to watch the stars of the popular TLC reality show defending their handling of eldest son Josh's molestation of 5 underage girls, a babysitter, and 4 of their daughters. During the broadcast, the Duggar parents appeared to downplay what happened. Prompted by Kelly, the two blamed Arkansas authorities for releasing Josh's police records detailing his actions, which they claimed were sealed, a point that Springdale, Arkansas City Attorney Ernest Cait disputed on Thursday. The Duggar also criticized the media for disseminating the information, while Michelle suggested that the girls had been victimized more in recent weeks than they were 12 years ago. Critics say Kelly allowed the Duggars to spend too much time blaming others instead of asking more hard-hitting questions. Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism professor June Krause told the Wrap she was obviously sympathetic to their cause. She gave them the sympathetic ear they needed and the platform they were looking for to get their story out. Degens, who has been a journalist for more than 2 decades, agrees. He noted 20 minutes passed in the interview before she asked how the daughters felt about what happened to them. Meanwhile, CNN anchor Ashley Banfield tells the Wrap she has many problems with the way the Duggars dealt with the abuse taking place in their home, but as a parent, she is sympathetic to everyone involved. Megyn is a mother. I am a mother. I've gone back and forth between anger towards Jim Bob and Michelle for endangering their daughters and sympathy for what those fellow parents went through. The legal view with Ashley Banfield anchor told the Wrap. She also added, putting the children in danger may be inexcusable legally, but I could see a jury of their peers looking across a courtroom pondering what each of them would have done in the very same circumstances. They said welcoming reality cameras into this maelstrom invited the legitimate attention they are now getting in the wake of their actions and inactions. TLC pulled 19 Kids and Counting from its schedule on May 22nd after reports of the molestation scandal first surfaced. Days later, advertisers, including General Mills, Walgreens, and Choice Hotels, jumped ship. The cable network remains mum on the fate of the series, but Degens doubt that Jim Bob and Michelle's sit-down with Kelly will be enough to save the show. He says it will be really hard for TLC to bring back the show, and it will have to be more than this interview. They'll have to sit down with someone who is really independent and answer some really tough questions about what happened. If they don't do that, maybe they can salvage it. But now I don't see TLC brings it back. Thursday's tip-off to the NBA Finals scored its best-ever Game 1 ratings on ABC, pulling in a 12.9 per Nielsen overnight numbers. That preliminary totals, which is subject to change in final ratings, is currently 24% higher than 2014's Game 1 game between the Miami Heat and San Antonio Spurs. Last night's back-and-forth broadcast peaked with a 15.6 overnight rating between 11:30 p.m. and 11:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The hometown Golden State Warriors eventually won Game 1 in overtime 108-100, despite Cavs star LeBron James pouring in 44 points. It is expected that the contest itself will win the night across TV for the 43rd consecutive time, when national numbers are in later today. Additionally, NBA Countdown, ABC's NBA Finals pregame show, generated a 4.6 overnight rating, which is up to 18% from last year's comparable broadcasts. Drilling down locally, Game 1 on ABC delivered 41.4 ratings in the participating Cleveland market and a 28.9 in the Golden State San Francisco market. Both numbers mark the highest rated NBA games on ABC ever in their respective cities. Jimmy Kimmel's Mean Tweets segment has become as legendary as LeBron James and Stephen Curry's on-the-court skills, and the late-night host scored big on Thursday night with a special NBA installment. The fan-favorite recurring segment involves celebrities and sports stars reading posts from their most scathing critics on social media and hopefully seeing the funny side. The latest round of lambasting aired before Game 1 of the NBA Finals on ABC and featured some of the biggest names in the league. Before taking on and taking down King James, Golden State Warriors MVP Curry got taken to a task by a Twitter user. the star player read, imagine the damage Stephen Curry would be doing in the NBA if he didn't have such a girly name. Hashtag change it to Steve. Steve is a terrible name. Oops, that's my coach's name. The NBA legend Magic Johnson read his tweet, I'm convinced that Magic Johnson has approximately 73 teeth in his mouth, before flashing a beaming smile. Tony Parker, Eva Longoria's ex-husband, who is a San Antonio Spurs player, said, people say LeBron flops. Have you ever seen this little French woman named Tony Parker? Portland Trailblazer Wesley Matthews argued back against a Twitter user who told him to go eat donuts on the bench and called him a fat F, responding, I've got 6% body fat. Even NBA Countdown analyst Jalen Rose wasn't spared, as a Twitter user wrote, can we make a special call, I hate Jalen Rose because I hate Jalen Rose? Golden State Warriors power forward Draymond Green actually found his mean tweet hilarious. Draymond Green looks like Donkey from Shrek, he read, collapsing into giggles. As NBA fans know, the Warriors had the last laugh later on Thursday night when they the Cleveland Cavaliers 108-100 in overtime. Game 2 of the NBA Finals airs on ABC Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Jimmy Kimmel Live airs weeknights on ABC at 11:35 p.m. Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura in the Star Trek TV show and movies, has suffered a mild stroke. The word that Nichols, age 82, suffered the stroke came Thursday on her official Facebook page. Zach McGinnis of Galactic Productions, who represents Nichols, said last night while at her home in Los Angeles, Nichelle Nichols suffered a mild stroke. She's currently undergoing testing to determine how severe the stroke was. Please keep her in your thoughts. Nichols was rushed into Los Angeles hospital and is resting after undergoing treatments and tests. Her representatives confirmed to the Wrap. Nichols appeared in the original Star Trek TV series, which ran from 1966 to 1969, and reprised her role in 6 Star Trek films. She also played Nana Dawson in the TV series Heroes and voiced characters in the Gargoyles and Spider-Man TV show. Stephen Colbert has found his Late Show bandleader in Stay Human's Jon Batiste. The New Orleans musician and educator has collaborated with Prince, Winston Marsalis, and Lenny Kravitz in the past. Batiste grew up playing percussion and piano in his family band before studying at the Juilliard School. Batiste's most recent studio album, Social Music, reached #1 on the Billboard Jazz album charts. His first album on a major label is set for a fall release. TV and film-wise, Batiste also appeared as himself on HBO's Tremmy and played a role in Spike Lee's Red Hook Summer. In 2012, Batiste was appointed artistic director at large of the National Jazz Museum in Harlem. Colbert quipped Thursday, his music makes the audience feel so good, we may have to install a do not make love sign. Batiste added, I'm thrilled, this is a match made in heaven, get ready for a love ride on The Late Show. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert premieres Tuesday, September 8th, which airs from 11:35 to 12:37 a.m. on CBS. Considering that Steve Martin delivered the SNL 40 opening monologue in February, it is no surprise that Martin's AFI Lifetime Achievement Award has significant crossover with that cross-generational comedy homecoming earlier this year. One of the things the Rap saw in her at the event at the Dolby Theater in Hollywood on Thursday starred with Lorne Michaels seated at Martin's side at the head table. The Saturday Night Live creator was wedged between Diane Keaton and one of the honoree's closest pals, Martin Short. Next to the man of the evening was, of course, his wife, Anne Stringfield. Michael served as the best man at their surprise 2007 wedding. The honorees, speakers, and a few hundred VIP guests at the AFI's big night actually sat on the Dolby Theater stage, where the Oscars also were handed out. A quick turn towards the balconies in the back afforded a momentary glimpse of the view that Oscar winners get when addressing a packed house during the Academy Awards ceremony. It is also the view Steve Martin had when he last hosted the Oscars with Alec Baldwin in 2010. Baldwin could be counted on a very short list of current absences on Thursday night, along with Third Amigos' Chevy Chase. As the Rap's awards editor Steve Pons reported, a machine gun fire of comedy and comedians flowed for about 3 hours on Thursday night. After Tina Fey, Steve Carell, Lily Tomlin, Sarah Silverman, Mel Brooks, Queen Latifah, Conan O'Brien, and Jack Black, one guest told me that her cheeks hurt. Fay's opening speech, a clip from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Carl Reiner proving the provenance of his Johnny Carson Tide with a close-up of the JC initials, and Short's roast of Martin's got the loudest laughs. A series of candid personal photos of Martin with famous pals, and one with the late Robin Williams in particular, drew emotional ahs from the crowd. During Short's late-in-the-program takedown of his good buddy, drew an enthusiastic response across all C-tiers, most notably from Jeff Garland. Sarah Silverman and her boyfriend Michael Sheen were splitting distance from Carl Reiner, seated side by side, after Silverman had passed through the arrival interviews and greeted the bleacher fans solo. AFI Chairman Sir Howard Stringer now anchored the front row table closest to the podium next to veteran executive Bob Daly. The guy AFI President and CEO Bob Gazelle says picks up the phone for AFI every day. Martin put truth to the phone claim, saying that Daly himself called to ask him to be the honoree, jokingly that the first question was, "Are you available on June 4th?" And that is your entertainment report for Friday, June 5th, 2015. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report on iHeartRadio. Just go to iHeart.com, search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Have a great weekend, everybody. Good night, and God bless you all. Bye.